Hold on to your seats, folks, because Caitlyn Clark is changing the game like never before. The WNBA has never seen anything like her. The league, which has often struggled to capture the same level of excitement as the NBA, is now at the forefront of sports discussions, thanks to Caitlyn's extraordinary talents. In her rookie season, she averaged an astounding 26.6 points per game, shattering previous records. She's been named Player of the Week multiple times, showcasing her consistency and dominance. Her performance against the Las Vegas Aces, where she recorded a triple-double, was nothing short of phenomenal. Remember how Michael Jordan revolutionized the NBA in the 90s? Caitlyn is doing just that for the WNBA. She's not just playing the game, she's redefining it.
Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlyn Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlyn Clark did this year.
Caitlyn Clark has taken the WNBA by storm, shattering records and redefining the game, but not everyone is cheering her on. Why are some of her peers turning against her? Numbers don't lie. Caitlyn Clark's presence has breathed new life into the WNBA, drawing unprecedented crowds and skyrocketing TV ratings. She's the new face of women's basketball, a beacon of hope for the league's future. With her dazzling performances and undeniable talent, Caitlyn has become an instant ambassador for the WNBA. For the first time in years, the league has a superstar they can rally behind. But success comes with its own set of challenges. Despite the media frenzy and financial boom Caitlyn brings, not everyone is thrilled. Many of her peers and even some international stars are less than pleased. They feel overshadowed by her meteoric rise. Take Lynette Woodard, for instance. A legend in her own right, Woodard dominated college basketball at Kentucky from 1977 to 1981, racking up a jaw-dropping 3,649 points. When Caitlyn broke her scoring record last February, Woodard's reaction was anything but congratulatory. Instead of celebrating this milestone, Woodard responded with a defensive and somewhat bitter comment. She said, "Records are meant to be broken, but the game has changed so much. It's not the same level of competition I faced." Her words echoed a sentiment shared by many veterans of the game. This sentiment highlights a growing divide in the sport. On one side, the new generation, led by Caitlyn, is pushing boundaries and redefining what's possible. On the other, seasoned players feel their legacies are being overshadowed by the media's focus on the new star.
It meant the world to me that Coach would say that I had the true record. That record has been hidden, so to speak, for 43 years. And for her to be in another stratosphere with her team, trying to get to the Final Four, for her to take the time and say that, I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Caitlyn Clark has shaken up the world of women's basketball by breaking historic records, but not everyone is celebrating her achievements. Why are some of the sport's legends voicing their discontent? Caitlyn Clark has become a household name, revolutionizing women's college basketball with her record-breaking performances. But her success hasn't been universally embraced. Some basketball legends are casting shadows on her achievements. Let's dive into the controversy. Lynette Woodard, a trailblazer in women's basketball, was initially less than thrilled when Caitlyn surpassed her scoring record. Woodard, who dominated the game in the late 70s and early 80s, was the all-time leading scorer with 3,649 points. While she was a pioneer of her time, it's important to recognize that the game has evolved significantly since her era. Critics argue that Caitlyn's achievements are enhanced by modern advancements like the three-point line and a different ball size. But is it fair to place blame on Caitlyn for these changes? Just like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't complain about the three-point shot when LeBron James broke his record, Caitlyn shouldn't be faulted for playing in a different era of the sport. Instead of discrediting Caitlyn, Woodard could have seen her as a catalyst for renewed interest in women's basketball, finally giving her own legacy a fresh spotlight. Imagine if Woodard had embraced this moment, celebrating Caitlyn's success and the increased attention it brought to her own contributions. Another Hall of Famer, Cheryl Swoops, has also expressed dissatisfaction with Caitlyn's record-breaking feat. Swoops, a legendary figure in the WNBA, criticized Caitlyn by suggesting that the reason for her success was merely the number of games she played. While Swoops' point might have some merit, it doesn't account for Caitlyn's extraordinary talent and perseverance. Caitlyn's achievements are not just about the number of games, but also about her remarkable performance and skill on the court.
This isn't just for Caitlyn, but you asked me about Caitlyn. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right?
Hoops legend Cheryl Swoops had some thoughts on Iowa's Caitlyn Clark via Gills Arena.
So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlyn should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
Cheryl Swoops made headlines with her controversial take on Caitlyn Clark's record-breaking performance. But is there more to her argument than meets the eye? On the surface, Swoops' argument might seem convincing, especially with her strong delivery. However, a closer look reveals a different story. According to this graph, Caitlyn Clark broke Kelsey Plum's scoring record in just 126 games, compared to Plum's 139 games. This means Caitlyn achieved this milestone in fewer games, challenging the narrative that her success is due to playing more. While Swoops' assertion may sound authoritative, the data clearly shows otherwise. Caitlyn's achievement reflects her exceptional skill and efficiency, not just the number of games played. It's crucial to base our evaluations on facts rather than misconceptions. Despite the clear evidence, Swoops didn't stop there. She continued to push her narrative by claiming that Caitlyn's record lacks the same level of significance as past achievements. Let's examine her follow-up statement to understand the full picture. Cheryl Swoops recently claimed Caitlyn Clark's scoring success was due to taking 40 shots per game. But is this true? While Swoops' claim might sound convincing, a quick look at Caitlyn's stats shows she averaged only 18 to 22 shots per game, not 40. This discrepancy highlights a major issue with Swoops' argument. Clearly, Swoops' comments don't align with the facts. Caitlyn's scoring prowess is a result of her skill, not an inflated number of attempts. Interestingly, Angel Reese has also joined the criticism of Caitlyn. Her subtle jabs reflect a broader tension within the sport.
I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and
this frustration seems to stem from Caitlyn's rising popularity and success, which have garnered envy from many, including former players, rookies, and veterans. Veteran Lexi Brown has also weighed in, raising eyebrows with her comments about Caitlyn. Recently, Brown criticized Caitlyn in the context of Ice Cube offering her $5 million to play in the Big Three. Here's what Brown had to say. Every time Caitlyn Clark achieves something remarkable, it seems like there's always someone ready to discredit her success. Why does her success spark such strong reactions? Lexi Brown recently shared her thoughts on Caitlyn's career, and while her comments reflect personal feelings, they also highlight a larger issue. It seems that every time Caitlyn excels, from becoming a top draft pick to receiving big offers, there's a wave of criticism and jealousy. It's important to recognize that Caitlyn's achievements, like making millions and getting major endorsements, are often met with resentment rather than celebration. This backlash reveals more about the insecurities of others than any supposed fault in Caitlyn's success. Caitlyn Clark's rising fame and success should serve as inspiration rather than a point of contention. Her milestones benefit the entire sport, bringing more attention and opportunities to women's basketball. Instead of being envious, fellow players should see Caitlyn's success as a win for everyone in the sport. Caitlyn's success doesn't diminish anyone else's accomplishments. It creates new opportunities and drives the sport forward. The basketball community would be better served by uniting to celebrate any player who elevates the game, rather than letting jealousy and negativity take over. Instead of letting jealousy and negativity cloud our view, let's come together to appreciate and support the strides any player makes in advancing the game. Caitlyn Clark is breaking barriers and setting new standards, and that's something we should all be excited about. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest in sports, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts below. How do you feel about the reactions to Caitlyn's success? Until next time, keep celebrating greatness and stay tuned for more exciting updates.